All right, we are live on Bear Sheath Farm with your host, Levite Khan. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be reading First Samuel, chapters 1 through 5. In Hebrew, that's Shemuel Aleph. Give me a second, I'll get my hat on. Let me get that. All right. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, all right. After that, I'll do a little bit of chatting. After the chatting, I do have one kind of funny video, at least it is to me, and then I'll probably sign off. And it's really a personal funny thing to me. So that being said, let's get going with this. We're doing it in the Jewish order, so First Samuel comes right after Judges. Anyway, chapter 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim, of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zoph, an Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah, or some say Elkanah, offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb. And their adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not, and why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by the post of the temple of the Lord, and she was in bitterness of soul. And she prayed unto the Lord and wept sore, and she vowed a vow. How you doing, gangster? Welcome. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine husband a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice is not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine housemaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace. And the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. Okay, before I continue on to verse 19, ladies and gentlemen, Eli was kind of an insensitive, rude priest. He didn't run his family, his household the way he should. And back then with the Hebraic women, like Elkanah and them, the man, the husband, when they had more than one wife, it was a big thing. It was a Hebraic thing to, how shall I say it? It was like a status, okay, in a competition, who could have a child, who could have more children, whose child would rise up higher in stature as the child would grow up. And better yet, if it was a son, even more so than a daughter. Okay, so those are all factors in all of this. Um, just saying. All right, let's go to verse 19. And they rose up in the morning early and worshipped before the Lord and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice in his vow. And, but Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, Do what seemeth thee good. Tarry until thou have weaned him, only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks, 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh, and the child was young. And they slew a bullock, and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. It was a big thing to give your first son, to dedicate him unto the Lord, unto Elohim. Yed He Vav He, blessed be his name, the Father. That's all 28 verses of Samuel chapter 1. So anyway, let's continue on to chapter 2. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoiceth in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord. There is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the child did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord, and the priest's custom with the people was that, when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. And he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, Give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. But if and if any man said unto him, Let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, Nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. Therefore the son of the young men, was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. But Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child, girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat, and brought it to him from year to year, when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. And Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife, and said, The Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home. And the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters, and the child Samuel grew before the Lord. All right. Hold on a second. Verse 22. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he said unto them, Why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. Nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear. Ye make the Lord's people to transgress. If one man sit against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. And the child Samuel grew on, and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. And there came a man of God unto Eli, and said unto Thus saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father, when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer upon mine altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel? Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice and at mine offering, which I commanded in my habitation, and honorest thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Israel, my people? Wherefore the Lord God of Israel saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father should walk before me forever. But now the Lord saith, Be it far from me, for them that honor me I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house, that there shall not be an old man in thine house, and thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation, and all the wealth which God shall give Israel, and there shall not be an old man in thine house forever. And the man of thine, whom I shall not cut off from mine altar, shall be to consume thine eyes, and to grieve thine heart, and all the increase of thine house shall die in the flower of their age. And this shall be a sign unto thee, that shall come upon thy 2 sons, and Hophni and Phinehas, and one day they shall die both of them. And I will raise me up a faithful priest, that shall do according to that which is in mine heart and in my mind. And I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before mine anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left in thine house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and shall say, Put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest's offices, that I may eat a piece of bread. All 36 verses of 1 Samuel chapter 2. Sorry about my lack of teeth and my tongue going awry on me. Having a little difficulty with that tonight. So, anyway, let's go on to chapter 3, shall we? And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep, that the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou calledst me. And he said, I called not, lie down again. And he went and lay down. And the Lord called yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son, lie down again. And Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the 3rd time. And he arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood, and called us at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of every one that heareth it shall tingle. Hold on a second. Uh, all right. Verse 12, in that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offering forever. And Samuel lay down until the morning, and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel feared to show Eli the vision. Then Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I. And he said, What is the thing that the Lord has said unto thee? I pray thee, hide it not from me. God do so to thee, and more also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. And Samuel told him every whit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord. Let him do what seemeth him good. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground. And all Israel from Dan, even to Beersheba, knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord. And the Lord appeared again at Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. And that's all 21 verses of 1 Samuel chapter 3. Seemed to me, too, not only was Eli an insensitive and kind of a rude, crude priest, he was also very vain, very shallow-minded. He didn't take things seriously, and he didn't keep his house in order. But anyway, let's go on to chapter 4 of 1 Samuel. Okay. Oh, hey, Shabbat Shalom to Brother Richie 7. Welcome from here from Paraguay. Okay. I hope you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't. You don't really look, I don't know if you look familiar to me or not, to be honest. But anyway, chapter 4. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel, and when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore hath the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out in Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people went to Shiloh, that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us, for there hath not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men, and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came to Eli, and when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult? And the man came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim, that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came out of the army, and I fled today out of the army. And he said, What is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel has fled before the Philistines, and there hath been also a great slaughter among the people, and thy 2 sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of God, that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas, his wife, was with child, near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the ark of God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself in travail, for her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the women that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. And that's all 22 verses of 1 Samuel chapter 4. Shabbat Shalom. Let's see. Oh, okay, sure, I know who. Okay, it's kind of coming to mind now. And welcome at Shabbat Shalom to Carolyn Gannon. Been a while since I've gone over this, with Ichabod. Yeah. And I think Ichabod is definitely in the United States. Amongst other nations. So, that being said, I will go ahead and read chapter 5, and then we'll get to it here. And welcome a Shabbat Shalom to Nicole CB. Glad you're here. All right, chapter 5 of 1 Samuel. And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore, neither the priests of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coasts thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, The ark of God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us and upon Dagon our God. They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the God of Israel about thither. And it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emerods in their secret parts. Verse 10. Therefore they sent the ark of God to Ekron, and it came to pass, as the ark of God came to Ekron, that the Ekron and sent the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place, that it slay us not in our people. For there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of God was very heavy there, and the men that died not were smitten with the emerods, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. Okay. What can I say? So let me look at the chat here. That has to be very painful. Well, I'm just laughing. I probably shouldn't be laughing, but anyway, it's been a long time since you got painful tumors in that area and hemorrhoids and stuff like that. But whatever. I mean, they learned their lesson pretty quickly. Not that they learned their lesson as much as they should have. I mean, they kept their own God, which is stupid, I think. Anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a lot to say, folks. Keeping track of things, I listened to an interview where Tucker Carlson interviewed former um, Border Patrol Chief Greg Bavino. And he's claiming that there actually were, not when he started his career, but when Trump came back into office, there were around 107 million illegal aliens. Now, who might argue he would have more inside information when he was in and even being out now, because he had, he retired or whatever in January this year after the two incidents in my home state when two people were shot. And they said they got it down to 105 million, which is still just blows my mind. I've heard so many numbers to this day. A lot of people are saying in the 4 years of Biden-Harris, 20 million, Trump himself now is saying 25 million. That being said, I don't know what to think. 105 to 107 million, that's nuts. That is freaking nuts. That's almost 1/3 of the population in this nation, if that's true. But again, he probably still has connections and talks to people. I know he talks to another former Border Patrol chief and that, but and I'm sure he has others. And the crap they're pulling, all the way up to the administration. But promises made, promises broken. We're in big trouble as a nation. All the way from getting all the border wall built, which it has not happened, never did. Some of it, but it's a lot more secure than it ever was, to my knowledge. But that promise hasn't been kept, and of course, no more wars or the president to end all wars, and here we are going at it with Iran yet. I don't worry about it a whole lot. That being said, it gets frustrating. I don't expect to see people doing jail or prison time. Again, I some of them, I don't really see what their position is. That's so wonderful, and why the elites would want their dumbasses, frankly. For whether they're a governor or a congressional member or a senator, unless the elites really, have use for those idiots for now. But I do have something good I want to share. This is so cool. From my home state, Minnesota. Let me get this up. The cops' reaction is pretty good, too. Let me get rid of that. Okay. All right. Let's have some fun and let's watch this.
These police officers' reaction to Tim Walz getting egged tells you everything you need to know.
Quick, we have to follow him. What's going on here? Oh my God. I got the egg madness, y'all. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Lego my eggo.
Hey, Lego my foot in your ass.
These police officers.
That was good. I really don't have a lot to say, folks. It's been a little over 30 minutes, which is actually a pretty short video for me. I mean, if there's something anybody wants to bring up that's not typed or texted in yet, I'm going to be watching Dan Benandi in about an hour from now, I suppose. And I think he's going to be with David Carrico, if I'm right. And David Carrico is an elderly gentleman who's a walking, talking encyclopedia, you know, with biblical history and that. It's a good way to do my Sabbath, my Shabbat. So anyway, it's been a good day today. Checking on that chicken I finally caught yesterday. Got her back in that pen with her fellow young hens. She looks like she's doing pretty well, and that. So that being said, I don't just normal stuff today. Got a bunch of more stuff weed whacked, and that. So yeah, go ahead. There, Debbie, Hebrew Faith, Dairy Weary, quite contrary.
You're funny, man.
Anyway,
It's going to be something that has to do with the papacy.
Yeah.
Putting a dead person's skull in a statue of Mother Mary of some kind of
you gotta love this. I mean,
necromancy type.
Yeah,
service.
I love my I love my friends that are Roman Catholic and the ones that are Orthodox Christians, but I'll tell you what, you talk about necromancy that I was dealing with last night on another panel. Oh, that's so sad. And the funny thing is, you know, Roman Catholics and Eastern or Russian Orthodox Christians actually have some discipline. They have some method. It's not all chaos. You have some good things about them. It's too bad they have to get into that nonsense. But anyway, folks, look, I don't want to, you know, and I just wish it would stop. I just wish it would stop. But anyway, I don't have a lot. I wish, you know, I hope everyone gets, you know, has a good Sabbath and they're doing great and that you're blessed and safe and secure. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, stay on your guard. Stay safe out there. Keep your heads on your swivels. Peace. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. The Levite man is out of here till the next time.